Good morning, everyone. I wanted to create a quick video with regards to the Culture Sustainability Cohort Program in-person retreat. And I sent this video, I sent this email yesterday with an overview of the retreat. Of course, you know it's happening in New Mexico from July 8th through the 10th. And this is for all of us in the program. The email goes through what you need to know in terms of lodging and meals and travel being covered for all cohort members, coaches, and staff. Um, we will be using a service called Trip Easy. That service is not available quite yet. The team will be updating us and we will provide you that information later this month in terms of how to use Trip Easy. And then some accommodations will be made. Some of you have asked me about bringing personal guests. There will be accommodation made in terms of being able to include additional guests in your room. You will have to contact the spa directly about pets. Some of you have asked about pets, so you will need to contact them directly about that. And then we need you to complete this pre-retreat survey by March 15th, please. And that survey is going to give us a sense of your travel preferences and also for lodging, dietary needs, and accessibility requirements. Please do provide all the possible accessibility requirements that you have so that we can also be in discussion with the hotel about it. So I'm asking you to visit the microsite so that you can get the full retreat details and to complete the pre-retreat survey there. If you follow this link, it will take you to the microsite page so that you can complete the survey. I know sometimes when you get surveys or a person gets surveys, they want to see all the questions up front. So because of that, I attached to this email a PDF version of the in-person retreat attendance survey. So when you click there, you're seeing the retreat survey in a PDF form. You don't fill this out in any way, but it's just so that you can review what the questions are, so you know exactly what's expected of you, right? So the first section goes through some basic information that we need from you. And then the second section will ask you about travel information. How will you travel? Please indicate to the best of your knowledge right now what your city of origin is. And then we explain how all of us are expected to participate and arrive in accordance with the retreat schedule, which you'll find on the microsite. And then we ask you to provide some information about the airline and flight or train or bus information that you'll have. So this is where you'll need to gather some information. Whatever resources that you currently use to check travel when you're traveling, those are the resources that we'd like you to use just to give an indication of what you would be using. So later on, when we use Trip Easy, you'll be filling out all of this information, especially airline information in Trip Easy. This is a new service for Creative West, so I'm not 100% sure if it includes train and bus. I do know that Trip Easy does include airline. So our events team is busy with another event, a large event that's happening in DC this week. And so I don't have the full information about this new service. So please give us some time to learn more about this new service. But in the meantime, we want to know from you some basic information so that we can plan. We ask you to provide the airport that you'll be flying into in New Mexico. We definitely recommend flying into Albuquerque. That is the closest airport to the resort. And then we ask you to provide us with your destination after the retreat. So most people, I imagine, will be going back to their home destination. Some of you all may be traveling because you're taking the opportunity. Maybe you live far away. You don't live on the continental US. And so perhaps you are getting some other business travel in or other travel in. We ask you to provide us with that destination post after the retreat. And then, because typically we are providing your to and from transportation from your home destination. But I know there will be people who are making other arrangements, and we just want to know we are committed to getting you to and from your home. But we know that there may be some different arrangements happening, and we want to be prepared for that. Next, we are talking about resort information. So this will link you off to the resort itself, just so you can look at that. Check-in will be at 4, checkout will be at 11. The number of occupants that you intend on having in your hotel room, and then your check-in date. Of course, the retreat starts on July 8th, but some of you, especially those coming from the Pacific jurisdictions and Hawaii, and even some of our coaches that may be coming in from the East Coast, sometimes you need to arrive the day before, just because of the flight patterns, right? So we'd like to have that information based on your own research of your travel, because the hotel will provide us with some book-ended accommodation before the retreat starts. So in other words, there may be some accommodation available for July 7th. If it is not, and we need to accommodate you in another hotel, then we need to have this information from you so that we can prepare. And then information about checkout and check-in. Do you need to check in early? Do you need to check out late? Do you plan to bring personal guests? We ask you yes, no, and other, because other, maybe you're still trying to organize things. We ask you to provide us with detailed information about intended guests, who they are. We ask you to provide, if you let us know if you require childcare. We are planning to be able to provide some type of on-site childcare group for children that are 5 to 12 years old only. That age range is simply because we want to make sure that there are children who are potty trained, so that any childcare arrangements that we make, that we're able to really focus in on children who are able to be cared for at that level. And you can make other childcare arrangements outside of this on-site childcare group, but that is your responsibility. We are able to make arrangements for a childcare group. But please do select other if you have other needs, unique needs with regards to childcare, even outside of that age range. We can't necessarily think of or predict all of your needs, but this is our intention to be able to provide childcare, but we want to hear from you in terms of other needs. right? We want to make sure that you, if you have children, that you are able to focus in on the retreat itself. We value our children immensely, and we also value this time together with you. So we want to work with you on this. So please let us know any and all information. And then, of course, your accessibility, accommodations, and dietary needs. Please complete all of that information. And then retreat goals and intentions. We lay out some of the goals that we have for the retreat. Basically, it's to go deeper on all of the work that we've already done together virtually, right? And so we will be talking about that at the retreat. And then we ask your primary goal. And then, this is important, we ask you to select your top three, your top three kinds of support or activities that would enhance your experience at the retreat. So please only pick one first choice, one second choice, and one third choice. So if you love to have one-on-one peer mentoring, that may be with your buddy or cohort pair, or that may be with others, one-on-ones type of format. If that's really a priority for you, please pick that for the first choice. But know then, if you also are interested in hands-on workshops, that shouldn't also be your first choice. That should be your second choice or your third choice. So the survey may allow you to pick several in first choice, but please don't do that. We really want to have a sense of really what your priorities are, your top three priorities. So there's options there, and there's options. Maybe you don't see anything here that is something that is a priority for you, so you can choose other. And if you do choose other, please give us details. Please give us details. So this will help us to design the retreat really, really well. And then there's just some open-ended questions on how we can best support your participation in this retreat. Please be open and share as much as possible. This information will be confidential to our team so that we can accommodate you. And then if there's anything else we need to know to ensure your experience is smooth and productive, let us know that as well. And that is the entire retreat. Pre-retreat survey form. So you should be able to submit from there. If you weren't able to submit for any reason, please try again. Please complete the survey and try again. But please do take your time with the survey so that we get all of this information as accurate as possible. We have given you 3 weeks to complete this survey so that we can get as much as information as possible from you. So remember, this is just a PDF. Please don't try to complete the PDF. Please go to the microsite so that you can complete the pre-retreat survey there. So let me go to the microsite page. And then, of course, you have the video for the spa, resort and spa itself. So you can see what it looks like. It's very beautiful. Then there's a retreat guidance. So please read this. This gives more detail than the email that you received. So it has an overview. It talks about the logistics, and it gives you a preview of the retreat. This is just a placeholder. We'll give more information as we get closer to the time, but this is generally how you can plan your time. We want to be arriving by 3 o'clock. Check-in at this moment is at 4 o'clock. We will be working with the resort especially for early check-in. We endeavor to get as many early check-ins as possible so that you can, especially if you're traveling from far and you're just arriving, you want to refresh yourselves and so on before coming down for registration with us, and then just a bit of informal gathering. So we just want to make sure that we have a moment to gather. The details about where in the hotel, where in the resort we'll meet, all of that information is forthcoming. But we will start our first session at 5 p.m. local time with a welcome and program overview. Then we'll have dinner an hour later. We'll have some time in our learning communities, and then we'll have a closing circle. The next day, breakfast will be at 8. I will be checking in with the hotel to find out what time we will end breakfast. What is the latest? Typically, it's 60 minutes. I'll endeavor to see if that can, how long they can leave the food out, or coffee and teas. There'll be break snacks as well, coffee and teas and waters. And then right after breakfast, there will be an open time, right? And so there may be some activities, some journaling, some space that's created for you between 9 and 10:30. So that's 90 minutes of open time. We'll give more information about what's happening there, but essentially that's your time, right? And then from 10:30, promptly we start with the sessions that will go until 4:30. There'll be sessions, there'll be lunch, and there'll be breaks. We'll have another open time for 90 minutes. Then we'll have group dinner. And then we'll have some time in learning communities and closing circle. So you're seeing that pattern, right? And then on Thursday, July 10th is our last day. We'll have breakfast. We'll have a much shorter open time, just in case there's last minute packing or anything that you need to do, any reflections that you want to make, a last walk around the premises, that open time. It's much shorter because it's our closing morning. Then we'll have 2 hours of sessions. A break will be built in there. We'll have our closing circle. We'll have lunch. And then then the expectation is that you'll depart, because checkout of the hotel is typically 11 a.m. We'll be working with the hotel and resort on late departures. So stay tuned for that. That's, again, if you fill out the pre-survey, it helps us to know what the needs are so that we can design with the resort what our needs are for our participants. So 1 o'clock will be generally departures, and then we will be working with the local community, local grantees and other partners that we have in the area for some offsite activities. We don't have those planned yet. We will provide more information about those as we go along. And then here is where you will find the pre-retreat survey, the actual survey that you need to complete. You'll click on this arrow and it will take you to the survey that you need to complete, right? So you do all the things and it takes you through. So this is the same PDF survey that I reviewed with you just now, but here is where you're actually filling it out. So make sure that you are ready. You've done your research. You found information about flights, about trains, about buses, however you're traveling. If you are driving, then we will let you know about our mileage reimbursement, our reimbursement based on mileage. We'll let you know all of that information. Okay. But right now, we just want you to let us know some basic information so that we can design all the logistics for the program. Thank you so much. Have a good day.